Hey guys, it's Paul from Montana. I'm working on my 2004 Chevy Impala 3.4 liter. Trying to limp this thing through, get some more miles out of it, but lately it's been making me wonder. I don't know. Okay, today's job was difficult, not fun. I'm going to give you some tips. Maybe it'll help you out. I replaced power steering cooling lines. They had a hole rubbed through them from that plastic panel that sits up in here that keeps water off the serpentine belt. Common problem, you see it on YouTube. Initially I did a fix to it, a temporary fix. I put some of this hose on here with some clamps. I just didn't trust it long term, and also I was having trouble with it weeping, so it was like every 3 or 4 weeks I was having to add power steering fluid. So I just, I didn't like that. So finally I took this day to replace this. Not a fun job. It was hard. So the biggest piece of advice I can give you is, you can get it out easy. You just cut it into pieces and pull it out. To get it back in is impossible without removing some things. So how I did it was, I removed the 2 bolts up here holding the, well, I took the tire off first, and then I took the brake caliper off and hung it up here from the strut spring. And then I removed the wheel hub bearing, wheel hub assembly from the axle. Then I pulled these 2 bolts out of the strut, pulled this thing out away from the car, and you can actually get the axle up out of the way. So now you're able to feed the tubing in a U shape, through the gap that you've created here, and weave it into the car. I'm telling you, unless somebody's a magician, somebody tell me otherwise, you can't do this without removing this part. There's these parts here. There's no way. I spent 20 minutes trying, and I finally was like, okay, something's got to give here. So once you finally start stringing this through, the pipe that goes back over to the rack goes in and over and through all kinds of stuff. It took me like 5 tries to get that right. Up on the front, it's relatively easy. It just, kind of, the last thing you really need to worry about is that. Of course, make sure it's going underneath the wiring and such while you're messing with this side. You don't want to get this side in and then look back and go, oh gosh, this thing's over the top of something. So you're kind of going back and forth making sure they're both right. Once I got that thing strung in there, starting the nuts back onto the power steering rack back in there was really pretty hard. 1/8 of a turn at a time until those things were on there tight, brand new O-rings. Not fun. This is not a fun job. I don't think I need to tell you that again. But I got it, and I'm proud of myself for sticking it out. There was a couple times where I was done. In the process, I screwed up my wheel bearing because I had a bolt that was jacked on it, so I had to heat it up really good, and it was smoking, so I heated it up with a torch to get the bolt out. So I'm going to replace this, but it's out of there, why not? I mean, I don't think I've ever put a bearing in this thing. At the same time, I'm sticking a water pump in it because that was leaking too, so it's kind of a big maintenance day today. Anyhow, long story short, if you can successfully repair this tubing with some kind of hose section, I would recommend that. It's way easier than replacing the lines, but I couldn't. I didn't like how it worked, so I put a brand new one in there. Tough job, not fun, but maybe my advice will help you. And good luck to you. Thanks for watching.